Devil Walla has crossed over to this near side rail, but Al Sarai is running on strongly now within half a length, and there'll be little between them as they go towards the finish. But Devil Walla's pulling out a little bit more. Devil Walla has crossed over to this Al Sarai into second.
Miss Helen is being produced to tackle this leader. Nothing really coming from the pack behind them, with the possible exception of Jacinth. But up front here, it's a two-horse race here, because on the far side, Fly Miss Helen has come through stylishly to collar Sasa Perilla, and the money spoke for Fly Miss Helen, who wins really nicely on debut here.
Bellear keeping on for pressure, but Devil Walla has gone on. And Gateway, nothing more to give it seems, and the thread emerging over on the far side from Al Sarai. Devil Walla has crossed over to this near side rail, but Al Sarai is running on strongly now within half a length, and there'll be little between them as they go towards the finish. But Devil Walla's pulling out a little bit more and makes a winning debut, beats Al Sarai into second.
Miss Helen is being produced to tackle this leader. Nothing really coming from the pack behind them, with the possible exception of Jacinth. But up front here, it's a two-horse race here, because on the far side, Fly Miss Helen has come through stylishly to collar Sasa Perilla, and the money spoke for Fly Miss Helen, who wins really nicely on debut here.
Bellear keeping on for pressure, but Devil Walla has gone on now. And Gateway, nothing more to give it seems, and the thread emerging over on the far side from Al Sarai. Devil Walla has crossed over to this near side rail, but Al Sarai is running on strongly now within half a length, and there'll be little between them as they go towards the finish. But Devil Walla's pulling out a little bit more and makes a winning debut, beats Al Sarai into second.
Miss Helen is being produced to tackle this leader. Nothing really coming from the pack behind them, with the possible exception of Jacinth. But up front here, it's a two-horse race here, because on the far side, Fly Miss Helen has come through stylishly to collar Sasa Perilla, and the money spoke for Fly Miss Helen, who wins really nicely on debut here.
Bellear keeping on for pressure, but Devil Walla has gone on now. And Gateway, nothing more to give it seems, and the thread emerging over on the far side from Al Sarai. Devil Walla has crossed over to this near side rail, but Al Sarai is running on strongly now within half a length, and there'll be little between them as they go towards the finish. But Devil Walla's pulling out a little bit more and makes a winning debut, beats Al Sarai into second.
Miss Helen is being produced to tackle this leader. Nothing really coming from the pack behind them, with the possible exception of Jacinth. But up front here, it's a two-horse race here, because on the far side, Fly Miss Helen has come through stylishly to collar Sasa Perilla, and the money spoke for Fly Miss Helen, who wins really nicely on debut here.
Bellear keeping on for pressure, but Devil Walla has gone on now. And Gateway, nothing more to give it seems, and the thread emerging over on the far side from Al Sarai. Devil Walla has crossed over to this near side rail, but Al Sarai is running on strongly now within half a length, and there'll be little between them as they go towards the finish. But Devil Walla's pulling out a little bit more and makes a winning debut, beats Al Sarai into second.
Miss Helen is being produced to tackle this leader. Nothing really coming from the pack behind them, with the possible exception of Jacinth. But up front here, it's a two-horse race here, because on the far side, Fly Miss Helen has come through stylishly to collar Sasa Perilla, and the money spoke for Fly Miss Helen, who wins really nicely on debut here.
Bellear keeping on for pressure, but Devil Walla has gone on now. And Gateway, nothing more to give it seems, and the thread emerging over on the far side from Al Sarai. Devil Walla has crossed over to this near side rail, but Al Sarai is running on strongly now within half a length, and there'll be little between them as they go towards the finish. But Devil Walla's pulling out a little bit more and makes a winning debut, beats Al Sarai into second.
Miss Helen is being produced to tackle this leader. Nothing really coming from the pack behind them, with the possible exception of Jacinth. But up front here, it's a two-horse race here, because on the far side, Fly Miss Helen has come through stylishly to collar Sasa Perilla, and the money spoke for Fly Miss Helen, who wins really nicely on debut here.
bigger prices, the remaining quartet, but not much between the front two in the market. The strength is behind Al Soraya.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? And Jacinthe was favourite on her debut, but is a little bit weak today. And I wondered aloud to John, as you heard Rishi a few moments ago, how strong that Jacinthe race was. And having thought she was quite straight for her debut as well, I'm not surprised that the market's coming for Al Soraya now. And not that much for the newcomers, John.
Yeah, I wasn't that taken by the Al Soraya form. All in all, I don't think it looks a particularly strong maiden for Newbury standards, because you do wonder if Jacinthe and Al Soraya are particularly good, but there's no real strength behind any newcomers.
I don't want to, say anything particularly negative about Jacinthe. It was a perfectly promising debut. Her sire, New Bay's, made a great start. Her stables had in the main, very productive season, and there's lots to like about her chance. But if you do have a strong view about a newcomer here, or something, I wouldn't put you off getting stuck in.
No, and given as well, it was probably the strength in the market that day here a month ago with Jacinthe anyway, because a lot of the William Haggas horses need the first run, and there's no reason why this one shouldn't come on for that run. But it was plenty of support that day, which, as you say, is a little bit more the opposite today.
Runners just heading behind the stalls. The blue and maroon quarters of Neptune's Wonder, well, for example, is one of the more interesting ones on paper, but again, not really an awful lot of market support for her.
Yeah, it cost plenty. It cost 120,000 guineas. The Grand Dame Cabaret was very smart at a juvenile, better at 2 than she was at 3. There's hope in the pedigree. She had 2 handlers in the paddock, did Neptune's Wonder, and you'd probably rather see her a little bit more money for her.
And the 2 obvious ones, I suppose, amongst those who haven't run are Alcohol-Free, the No Nay Never filly, and Impression's Dream, a filly by Lethal 4. So it's worth noting that the ground is going to be dead and probably quite testing for first-time out 2-year-olds here at Newbury today.
I'm looking forward to this race more than anything else give us some sort of guide about the ground, because good to soft in place is the official description. They think it's going to be softer in the home straight than the far side. Just really want to see how testing that actually is for these 2-year-olds, because yes, they've had a good deal of rain this week, but that's on top of a real heat wave. So I'm surprised we've ended up at the conditions we have. So I want to see the first races, get a guide as to what we're talking about for the coming races after that.
Al Soraya is 11 to 8, Jacinthe is 5 to 2, Impression's Dream is 7. The shortest price of the newcomers. Alcohol-Free 17 to 2, Neptune's Wonder is 10. First verse we never got to see in the paddock. She was late in, James Tate's Daughter of Dandyman.
Yeah, the price jumped to 50,000 a year ago. Dan never raced. The yard are doing all right this season with the juveniles, 6 from 39. But normally the ones who win, the market tells you that way.
Yes, that's right. First verse is a Daughter of Dandyman. Jim Crowley takes the ride on her. And they're coming down to the last few here ahead of this first of 9 races we're bringing you on Racing TV and Racing TV Extra at Newbury today. And just having a few problems getting 1 or 2 of these in. Urban Violet, she's not playing the game at the moment, the Daughter of Cityscape, Mick Shannon's filly, with David Probert on board, and we're still waiting for 1 or 2 others to go forward as well. Impression's Dream hasn't gone in. And Jacinthe is notably weak in the market here, out to 5 to 2. Which you might have thought would have been a good deal shorter than that, based on her debut run. Right, we are now down to the last pair. Impression's Dream's gone in, so we can say a very good afternoon to our commentator here at Newbury, Ian Bartlett. Barty, how are you?
I'm very well, Nick. Good afternoon to you, and hi to everybody at home. So the one, as you say, Urban Violet, got a blindfold on, is adept at getting herself side on, and she's their first run as well. She's learned plenty of tricks already. Impression's Dream is just coming forward now to take her place in 6th. Dream Date Diva waiting out the back to get a stall number 2. A blindfold has been fitted to Urban Violet to stall number 5. Who once again gets herself side on and backs away from the stalls. So still these 2 to go in. Al Soraya now the 6 to 4 market leader. Red colours, she's in stall number 8. 3rd run for her. She's most experienced in the lineup. Just she and Jacinthe have had runs so far. All the other 8 are making their debuts, including Urban Violet, who continues not to play up, but just be very difficult to get forward to come forward into her stall. The other one who's waiting will be going to stall number 2. It's pink and light blue colours for Charlie Bishop on Dream Date Diva, who I think is one of the longer priced runners here. She's about 66 to 1 at the moment. Third favourite now is Impressions Dream, who's into 7. She opened at 9. Yellow spots on a dark jacket for Adam Kirby in stall number 6. Well, Ultraviolet has once again come forward and backed away from the stalls. David Probert removes the blindfold from her as now Dream Date Diva comes forward into her stall, which is number 2. Lined up. They're off, racing without number 10,
Market
Urban
suspended.
Violet, who wouldn't enter the starting stalls. An announcement will follow. Al Saria, red colours, market leaders out well, and the splash of white on the face of Jacintha up there. Hazmat in the checks, a bit free, but got pace. She's up there, she's disputing second place. Impression Stream, yellow spots is next, and then Neptune's Wonder. First verse in white and red is furthest from the camera, then the purple jacket of Alcohol Free. She's moved very nicely through into 4th place now. Striped colours of Michel Star is behind her, and then the pink sleeve jacket of Dream Date Diva is the back marker, but Al Saria by
Fully
a
matched.
length and a half as she
Fully
moves
matched.
past the halfway stage, moving on by 2 lengths nicely in
Fully
front here.
matched.
Jacinth and Hazmat together second and third, although Alcohol Free and the purple picked up nicely, taken second place now. First verse is behind those in the stripes. Michel Star is staying on.
Fully
Al
matched.
Saria with
Fully matched.
Alcohol Free and the purple nearest to us, coming to take it up now with Asheen Murphy. Jacinth behind those. Michel Star is running on well in the closing stages, but it is Alcohol Free in front. She leads by a length and a half and is going to make a winning debut. Alcohol Free, the winner. Al
Market
Saria and
suspended.
Jacinth tight between those, second and third. Striped colours, Michel Star behind him in 4th.
Well, the front 4 are a mile clear. The race has been won by the newcomer Alcohol Free. The 2 horses with form are fighting it out for second, Al Saria and Jacinth. And Michel Star, done second best of the newcomers, right on their heels. And they are lengths in front of the remainder. So you take a positive view of Alcohol Free for sure, because for all there wasn't an awful lot of money for her, she's a good, strong, well-developed filly who's beaten 2 horses with just fair form.
Yeah, certainly beat the right pair. Looks €40,000 well spent on the basis of that. And she travelled really well into the race as well. I was only thinking around the halfway stage. She's gone nicely, and whatever she does from here, she's shown a lot of promise on debut. But it was clear from the 2 furlong pole she could have taken Al Saria seemingly at any time, and she showed plenty of promise, whilst also looking as if there should be more to come as well after this. So I think Connection will be absolutely delighted. The Dang was a dual winner. The half-brother, this one, Alexander James, has won on soft ground. So there was more chance than likely this one would appreciate the ground. But she's put this race to bed very quickly.
Al Saria, Sylvester de Sousa.
Soda. Juice. Yoda, advantage, please go up. Go ahead, territory, please buy 4 games to 3. Time.
I would have said is probably up against it in the circumstances. Does come into
Attack Nura. 15. Low. Not 30. 15 all.
and in training a couple, and I remember actually talking to him after he sent out a winner at Leopardstown last year, and he said having a winner, training a winner, gave him a bigger buzz than getting a big touch for one of those breeze up horses would any day of the week. So it just goes to show you, even at a relatively low level, what it does mean to those behind these horses. Quite a well-bred filly too, by Kingman out of an Oratorio mare, Klenner, you know, I think raced for the Stackyard, and she's had a recent run, anything you want to be. The Curragh was behind Tyrock Brandy on that occasion. Tyrock Brandy finishing third in that race, won by Balwan, but anything you want to be. Did put in some reasonable late work on that occasion. I think she'll be suited by going back up to 6 furlongs today. She's quite strong in the market too, actually, at 5-1, which is encouraging. Indiana Gray, I think, has got a great shout here too for Pat Martin and Conor Maxwell. Got the coveted stall 1 draw and ran quite well last time at Naas when finishing 6th behind a step too far. Was behind a couple of these on that occasion, but good draw next to the rail. I think could potentially give Pat Martin's charge the edge here in that renewal of rivalry. Colin Keane on board, I should say, in Indiana Gray, very significant booking for that one. Conor Maxwell's riding at Tremor today, of course. Quite unusual, actually, to have a flat double header these days. Don't see it too often. Not too many more left to load then for this Crown Plaza Hotel Dundalk handicap. Let's rejoin Jerry Hannon as the last couple shuffle forward.
Loading completed.
Market suspended.
Tyrock Brandy fly jump to start in the 6 furlong Crown Plaza Hotel Dundalk handicap. Seb Star is in the fighting line with Rhodesia. Prominent on the rail is Icy Breeze, being followed at the end of the 1st furlong by Sestriere, Sun and Scent, Dance Alone and Ekarn, and they're followed across by Tyrock Brandy. And on the inside is Anything You Want to Be, and then Crystal Dawn, Ever Rock, Indiana Gray, Sarige, and the back marker is Reaper Man. Heading to the halfway stage, and Seb Star has raced on 3 lengths in front under Jamie Powell, being followed by Icy Breeze, Dance Alone, Rhodesia, Sun and Scent, Tyrock Brandy, and then comes Sestriere and Ekarn, Anything You Want to Be, and Crystal Dawn, and Sarige, Indiana Gray. Racing in the straight, just over 2 to go in the Crown Plaza Hotel Dundalk handicap, and it's Seb Star in the middle of the track out in front, being followed by Sestriere, making ground on the left with Crystal Dawn, Sun and Scent, Dance alone Tyrock Brandy. Over on the far side is Indiana Grey. Seb Starwood coming on the outside. Crystal Dawn. It's these two going up towards the line, and Crystal Dawn mugs late on. Seb Star in third, 4 lengths back, Sestria, and then Indiana Grey.
7 furlongs might be top end of his stamina, but I suspect he'll give himself every chance by knowing what he's doing. The yards record with the 2-year-olds this season has been extremely good, and he looked very professional on his way down. Stamina could be an issue, but in terms of ability, his pedigree reads better to have some than a few of them.
I tend to agree with that. He's the second favourite. At the start for our second race, and you can join us on Racing TV Extra, where you'll see all of these horses in the paddock. We're also able to see them going to post, but they are now going behind, and Chris and I were just talking about the standard that Olympic Theatre set. Maybe you can just see what you were saying to the Extra viewers, Chris.
Yeah, Handicap Mark probably accurately assesses what he's achieved so far, but he's shaped like he's going to improve for a step up in trip. So I think with normal improvement for the distance, if he runs his race again, then you're going to be looking at a high 70s, knocking on 80 performance from him, which is a good enough standard for a race like this.
And you're looking at the likely characters up against him. The Fast Lion, well bred, but maybe the distance at the upper end or stretching him?
Yeah, plenty of speed down both sides of the pedigree, so it could just be a little bit too far for him. Liked how professional he was down to the start.
Yes, he was more professional than Us Nimitz, who was a bit keen. He'd started to get keener in the paddock, but I like the look of him physically, and he will get at least this far and further.
Yeah, I thought both him and Oracle of Omaha had physical scope and potential, particularly when they're going up in distance. Us Nimitz was a nice type, and he's got a good pedigree. The Dam was a soft ground maiden winner in Ireland, also a listed place for Jim Bolger. She stayed 10 furlongs, he's buys off, and he's going to be a middle distance horse in time.
Yes, and Hemsworth's interesting as well for James Ferguson. He's made a good start as a trainer this year.
Yeah, and with 3 2-year-old winners along the way as well. Son of New Approach, out of an unraced half-sister to Samim, who won enlisted company over middle distances. So it is a more of a middle distance pedigree, but this should be a suitable sort of test first time up.
You'd have thought that Keep Right On will be involved as well.
Yeah, I thought he was more sprint bred than a few of these. Dam, 6 furlong 2-year-old winner by acclamation. She's related to a fair few sprint winners. She placed on her debut before going on to win twice as a juvenile. Thought that his pedigree looks a little bit sharper than a few of these.
Yes, possibly, but with enough stamina in it to think that 7 furlongs might be okay. So he's an interesting one. Any of the others at bigger prices? I mean, Lenny's Spirit is quite well bred. The Dam was a Group 3 winning 2-year-old.
That was the other horse at a bigger price. I think Buy and Teller, out of a mare who won in Group 3 company in France as a 2-year-old, but got 10 furlongs the following year. Derby entry, he's a nice enough prospect, I think. Just whether today will be the day, I don't know, but he's probably got a classier pedigree than the lot.
Agreed. Now there is Apollo 1 who's just lashing out and showing a lot of greenness down at the start. He's just not consenting to be loaded just now, and he's a son of Boonga Rugetta, who Peter Sherrilambus did so well with, a prolific winner for the yard between a mile and 10 furlongs.
And she would have been one of the ones that won here. Boonga Rugetta plenty of times.
I think so, because I mostly remember her winning on the other Newmarket track actually, but she probably has one here.
When I say here, I mean Newmarket.
Yeah.
I think she might have won at Yarmouth as well. Can't remember, but
certainly here on Planet Earth, yes.
These horses tend to go forward and keep going as long as they can.
Yeah, this horse might need some time, and there'll be others that have classier pedigrees, but certainly that Dam was a fine horse for the yard. But he does look a bit green at this stage. Sarur looked green as well, and he was green on his debut. That was at Lingfield.
Yeah, didn't show a massive amount first time up, did he? And Dam was a maiden that didn't run to a particularly high level of ability. A bit of a mixed bag on the pedigree front, really, in this race.
It is. Pump It Up was probably a little bit better on paper on her debut, albeit she did stick to her task at Lingfield on the all-weather last time, kept to the inside but not able to get involved. heave-ho to try and get Apollo 1 in. And they've achieved it. Congratulations. So just two to come forward then for this 7 furlong Betway Novice Auction Stakes. Let's rejoin David Fitzgerald.
Thanks, Lydia. And those two keep right on. And USS Nimitz will be the last one. Final one coming forward. USS Nimitz into stall 4, so 11 runners are set, 8 newcomers set, and they're off.
Market
the Betway
suspended.
Novice Auction Stakes over 7 furlongs, just diving to the right. One Oracle of Omaha, but now tucking in as Apollo 1 shows some speed. So does Keep Right On. Pump It Up is over against the far rail. The favourite
Fully matched.
Theatre. The cerise jacket, light blue sleeves. Nice position in about 4th place early with
Fully
USS
matched.
Nimitz, the white and blue on that one's outside. Hemsworth is on the inner. And then Oracle of Omaha just without some cover on the outside.
Fully
Rocky
matched.
Keane,
Fully
Sorori's on
matched.
that one's inner. And then the Fast Line ahead of Lenny's Spirit, and a little
Fully
bit of touch and
matched.
outpaced is Risky Business. But it is Apollo 1 out of a mare
Fully
that was
matched.
an 11-time
Fully
winner,
matched.
Boonga Rugetta. Apollo 1
Fully
leading
matched.
under Martin Harley to Keep Right On. Pump It Up in behind, just squeezed along. In behind runner still Callum Shepherd on Olympic Theatre with USS Nimitz just keeping that one in at the moment. Sarua following. They've gone by halfway and indeed past the 3 furlong marker. Hemsworth chased along. Lenny's Spirit with a lot to do. Pulled to the outside. The Fast Line tries to make progress. Apollo 1 leads them towards the 2 furlong marker to Keep Right On. USS Nimitz is in 3rd place at the moment. Olympic Theatre's got plenty to do. The Fast Line staying on down the outside, but Apollo 1 has got the answer at the moment. Apollo 1 leads inside the last furlong under Martin Harley for Peter Charalambous, and if anything is coming away from Keep Right On, and what a tremendous success this will be for Apollo 1. Makes every yard and knew what he was doing. 2nd, Keep Right
Market
On, up for 3rd
suspended.
Olympic Theatre, and 4th USS Nimitz.
What a lovely story. Apollo 1, a son of Boonga Rugetta for the yard, who was that prolific winner. As David was saying in commentary, as we were discussing beforehand, Apollo 1 reluctant to load. Thank goodness they got him in, because he's shown plenty of ability here to pretty much make all in the hands of Martin Harley for Peter Charalambous. 2nd is Keep Right On for Sean Levy and Richard Hannon. And 3rd, Olympic Theatre, who has experience, for Callum Shepherd and Michael Bell. Here are the early stages of the race, Chris.
Yeah, and the winner knows exactly what he's doing, doesn't he? He was green going into the stalls, but during the race he's straight out into a good position, and the 1st and 2nd are basically dictating this race from the outset. You can see with the way that Sean Levy's got a good hold of Keep Right On. He's almost too keen for him in 2nd, and they're well bunched up in
She's long-time leader, Lilac Road, still clear by 2.5 lengths. Sunita in second. They're a long way clear of Coupe de Champagne back in third. Another half furlong to run. Lilac Road is out in front, and it will be Lilac Road who springs the shock in the Doncaster opener. Lilac Road and Tom Marquand. In second came Sunita, and a yawning break to the third, who was Coupe de Champagne.
Maintenant, là. 15 love. $13. 30 love. There is set Luna. 40 love. Tennis. 6. Six games all time. Vietnam 1-0. Pliskova. Barbara. 2-0. Pliskova. Una 3-0. Pliskova. Trina 3-1. Pliskova. Trina 4-1. Pliskova.
You've had a bit of a key horse split in these. We've probably got a pace angle from the bottom one, William Bly. He was beaten in the nursery last time.
And the money has come for Francesco Guardi for James Ferguson. Here we go then.
They're off. Denford Stakes over
Market
7 furlongs
suspended.
here. The 6 runners get out in a fairly decent line, although favourite Harby drops to be the back marker in the blue colours. St Lawrence in blue and white towards the right is the first one to show.
Pliskova.
Fully matched. Fully matched. Fully matched. Fully matched. Market suspended.
Steady. All.
On Arcaneer's Pistoletto is
Yeah, steady. 5-4. Attends.
Again, lots and lots of chances in this. Arcaneers, the last time we saw him was finishing third at Naas behind Nullifier on the Bank Holiday Monday. And Midwinster, who's in the field again today, ran quite well there to finish sixth under the now unfortunately sidelined Ben Cohen. And from a good draw in stall 4 here, with young Andrew Slattery having had a change of luck on Crystal Dawn in that last race, I'd give a decent shout to Midwinster here at a double figure price. She's a filly who's come back down now to a mark below the one she recorded her second victory off last year. Won off 81 at Fairyhouse in July 2019, and it's just been a little bit of a slow burner so far in 2020, but that was more encouraging, I thought, at Naas last time, and just a modicum of improvement. Could see a good run here from stall 4. 16 to 1 shot on the latest show. Another one you'd have a chance if you could forgive its latest effort is Parker's Hill, who was a very impressive winner of a 6 furlong handicap on the 8th of June, that first day back at Naas, beating Fit for Function in Powersville, form which hasn't worked out too badly at all. But the reason, well, the chief reason that Parker's Hill is such a big price today is that he bombed out next time at Leopardstown over 7 furlongs, ran with the choke out that day, and Shane Foley did ease him down when his chance had gone. But if he's back and can run to the sort of level he showed that day at Naas, even though he's nine pence higher now, he's back down to the 6 furlongs as well. He's a horse who also has winning form here at Dundalk, actually won over a mile at the beginning of the year when he was with Johnny Murta. I think there's still a bit of potential upside to Parker's Hill. He's one of 2 runners here for the owners, the Galaxy Racing Syndicate. They've also got Muckalad, who won at Navan earlier on in the season, now with John McConnell. Loading, as you can see, is underway. Danny Sheehy won the first on a reserve, and he's also scraped in here on the first reserve, Acquiescent, trained by John Murphy. John, whose smart 2-year-old Charterhouse was very impressive in the first at the Curragh yesterday. And interesting runner, Acquiescent, one of the least exposed members of the field. He's only had a handful of starts, one in good style at Fairyhouse on his first start in 2020. Her first start in 2020, I should say, filly by Footsteps in the Sand, and has a decent draw to work with here as well. And the Murphy horses in the main acquitted themselves very well at the Curragh yesterday, and Killarney, which is a traditionally happy hunting ground for them, on the horizon next week as well. Don't think we've got too many more left to load here then. Tracy Collins, Independent Missy, who's drawn in 1, could well be the final one, so let's join Jerry Hammond for this one.
They're off.
Market
They break
suspended.
away over 6 in the bar1racing.com Morn handicap, and prominent on the outside Parker's Hill with Alligator Rally. Also handy is Geological and Acquiescent, an independent Missy there on the rail as they make the first turn. Geological independent
fully matched, fully matched, fully matched, market suspended, fully matched, fully matched, fully matched, fully matched, market suspended.
him for a step up in trip, given the way that he's been going.
Yeah, I think this is a decent contest for several reasons. And then Midnight's Gift, I'm absolutely sure that there's upside in her, that she can do better from a handicap mark now that she's back on the flat, having tried hurdles.
Yeah, and she will probably travel into the race quite well. She's listed winner of her hurdles. She's got plenty of ability, but she's completely unexposed on the flat.
And then there's Zuba, who's a very, very consistent performer, and will surely run his race again.
Do you think he's that hearty?
No, but I think he's consistent.
Yeah.
So in terms of, I think he runs to a high standard of form, nonetheless. So
and he could be well positioned.
Yeah, I expect him to be. It looks like Night Bear's got very warm down at the start, which doesn't surprise me, or probably you, Chris, based on his demeanour in the paddock. Right, this is a really competitive and interesting race. It should be quite a strong form race. Let's join David.
Indigo Lake going into stall number 4, so just Night Bear to go into 6. 8 runners are set, and they're
Market
running
suspended.
over a mile and a half in this Heed Your Hunch at Betway handicap. Allegiant out pretty alertly in the blinkers, just running a little bit keen in them is Indigo Lake, just trying to get a little bit of cover, Martin Harley, as the stable companion to Nathaniel, and Nicky Mackay also goes up there to join Allegiant, along with the favourite Boss Power, the blue jacket with the white hoops, Sir Michael Stout's runner in a handy share of second, with on the outside to Nathaniel. Knowing predominantly blue silks, with the pink cross of Lorraine is then on the inside of Zuba, seeking a first victory on turf today. Amanda Perrett's charge, and then Indigo Lake in company with Night Bear, who was just getting a little bit warm and on his toes down at the start, and the filly Midnight's Gift is dropped out in last position, about 7 lengths behind the leader, and that leader is now to Nathaniel. To Nathaniel leads them towards their one and only turn, which they're now making to the Yarmouth winner Boss Power in second place. Allegiant, the green sleeves on that one's inside. Zuba is then on the outside of Knowing and Kevin Stott, followed by Indigo Lake, and Indigo Lake is still being tracked by Night Bear, running for Ed Vaughan. And the back marker is continuing to be Midnight's Gift. They continue to make their progress down the July course here, and it is to Nathaniel and Nicky Mackay leading the way, followed by Allegiant, the big sheepskin noseband, and then Boss Power on the outside. Zuba tracks that. Knowing is just covered up at the moment on the inside. No move yet from Indigo Lake and Martin Harley, who's ridden the first
Fully
two
matched.
winners on the July course this afternoon. Night Bear is one
Fully
from last, and
matched.
still in the final position is Midnight's Gift, as the field have almost got a mile behind them, running inside their final 4
fully
furlongs
matched.
here. To Nathaniel's contested big handicaps at Haydock and at Royal Ascot, just having his sights low
Fully
in a fraction
matched.
this afternoon, leading the way to Boss Power, poised
Fully
to strike in
matched.
second. Richard Kingscott's just starting to wind this horse up,
Fully
now, asking
matched.
to try and stretch. Knowing has moved off the rail. Zuba in behind. Allegiant chased along. Martin Harley's kidding Indigo Lake a little bit closer on the outside as they run inside the 2 to Nathaniel. Indigo Lake making progress. Zuba's now shaken up. Boss
Fully
Power
matched.
still fighting hard. They've got just over a furlong to go.
Fully
Here it's up
matched.
for grabs to Nathaniel. Boss Power. Indigo Lake produced. Night Bear going for a run up the inside. Less than a furlong to go, and it's Indigo Lake here from to Nathaniel. Indigo Lake, Martin Harley riding tremendously to Nathaniel in second. Knowing charging after them. Indigo Lake pressed again and close to the finish. To Nathaniel gets up to snatch it.
Market
from Indigo
suspended.
Lake. In third, Knowing, tight fourth, Boss Power, and Midnight's Gift.
It's a 1-2 for trainer John Gosden. To Nathaniel has just snatched it from stable companion Indigo Lake on the line. Nicky Mackay triumphing over Martin Harley. Just confirmed by the judge here. Back in third was Knowing for Kevin Stott and James Fanshawe, and in fourth was Boss Power for Richard Kingscott and Sir Michael Stout. A really interesting race to unpick, this one.
It was, and the winner has led from a relatively early stage of the race, was headed and has battled back. And the runner-up, I think, has thrown the race away, even in the blinkers. 1 or 2 found it a little bit too messy. I think Boss Power was short of pace and gears, really, in a race that developed in the fashion that this did.
He wandered and hung around as well, and having thought that he'd be suited to the ground, I'm not sure he was.
Track?
Possibly. Combination of the 2?
Yeah, I would have said maybe the track. I think they started racing about 3.5 out, and then as soon as they're coming downhill, he just can't hold his spot at that point, and by the time they're climbing again, his race is gone, really, and they're not coming back to him.
Now let's have a look at your assertion about Indigo Lake. Here he is, appearing with his ears pricked on the outside. in the first time blinkers to surely finish this race off. But he just wanders to the right. And that's allowing to Nathaniel to get back involved.
Spinker.
So.
I'll speak.
Two.
Olha o que estavas aí a fazer. Já tive aqui boas oportunidades, Pink, não apanhei nada. Ninguém trabalha hoje, Spin. Pois é, como eu.
Market suspended.
Filma-me de frente, Zé.
Fully matched. 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 Market suspended.
Eu tenho a vida fodida, meu. Olha para isso, ó, Spin. No 6, por exemplo. E no 9. Oi. Foda-se.
And approaching the final furlong and a half. Vale of Kent prompting now out of trouble. Then Afak behind these Willie John, Cliffs of Capri and Al Mufti Sabuska can't get through. Prompting leads the way to Afak.
No lapat Lomitin.
Don't know if we learned an awful lot from that particular race. Interesting, they've kept...
Nulla 30. Love 30. Nulla 40. Love 40. Hale. 2-2. Sur Clemson. Nulla 15. Love 15. But not so big. 15 all. But not 30-15. During set, but not 40-15.
Market suspended.
During set, 30. 40.
Vamos. Eu te digo, pá, já vi umas merdicas, umas oportunidades, mas não consegui apanhar. Para mim também.
Fully matched. Fully matched.
Bem.
Fully matched. Market suspended.
Isto vai dar inquiry, meu. É o 9. Mas pode ir para o inquiry.
Fully matched.
Isto é
Fully
quase
matched.
certeza que é para inquiry, Spink. Estou a achar estranho.
Fully matched. Fully matched. Fully matched. Fully matched. Fully matched.
Tenho medo que isto feche, meu. Queria estar ali ao 7.
Fully matched. Market suspended.
Puta que pariu, meu! Abriu. Não, isto é inquiry. Mas olha, eles fizeram as odds, tipo. Bué. Muito-se bué. Sim, é muito. Tipo, aqui acho que é mesmo inquiry forte. Não é o nosso Spink, caga nisso, sério.
Fully matched. Fully matched. Fully matched. Fully matched.
Olha, eu vou estar quieto, foda-se.
Fully matched.
Isto aqui é 12 pausitos no coisa. Já é muito bom.
Fully matched.
Mas, oh, mano, eu acho que este 9 também está a descer para caralho, ó Spink.
Fully matched.
Yeah.
We love, and Ava Gardner is prominent as
Fully matched.
Puta.
Fully matched.
4 capas em back.
Fully matched. Fully matched.
O 6? Pois.
Fully matched. Fully matched. Fully
Já vai dar,
matched.
peraí.
Fully matched.
Ele vai ganhar!
Fully matched. Fully matched. Fully matched.
Ganhou! Oi, vai cá
Market
acima!
suspended.
Ganhou o Spin! Vou meter cá em cima a 3. Olha, fiz 27 euros nele. Mas eu entrei nele na curva. E estava, olha, e só mandei 4 stakes a 2, ou seja, 8 euros. Sabes porquê? Porque o outro de lá era favorito. E o gajo teve, pá, teve um back do caralho a race toda, percebes? Mas está bom, ó Spin, fizemos o nosso trabalho. Está feito. Agora, se me disseres que podia ter pago mais um bocadinho, mas eu entrei a medo. Eu entrei a medo. Foi como eu, opá, ainda por cima, olha, tenho para aí 150 euros. Quanto é que tu tens para a semana, ao Spin? Tens para aí 150 euros, não? Tens mais? Eu tenho para aí 150, não estou a brincar. Que foi o dinheiro que eu fiz na segunda-feira. Mas que, desde segunda, põe desde segunda. Foi 10. Mas só de coisa, só daqui? Ok. 10 a 15, já. Estou a mentir, tenho 107. Meu menino, é o que é. O que é que a gente vai fazer? É o que é.
Bem.
Olha, a linha está aberta das 14h25. E o pau.
This.
A spring bloom for Sean Levy, far side Broughton's gold. Epsom Faithful now getting weary as Aldawa Dyer stays on with purpose from the back of the field. Punch Bowl Flyer is another one to be running on strongly with Tambourine Girl. Out in front, Broughton's gold has moved through to lead. From in second place, Spring Bloom with Punch Bowl Flyer finishing off solidly. Another winner for Tom Clover as brought...